Yo, what's up guys? Joey here, hope all is well. Today it's where it's at for the $1,600 price point if you're going the Nvidia route. Full beginner friendly build guide here today. You clicked on the right video. We're going to go over all the parts and their prices, why we picked them. We're gonna build the PC from start to finish, full beginner guide. And third, we're gonna put it to the test against a bunch of different titles. At the end, we frag it up, play a bunch of titles, mostly first person shooters. That's all I play pretty much. Maybe some other titles, maybe. And you guys read the title. We're gonna be working with the RTX 5070. This is one of the best selling 50 series cards right now, the 5070. The one we chose is going for $700, the ASUS Tough, but you don't have to go with this one. You can get a 5070 as low as $600, this 2-fan MSI one, and $610 for a 3-fan one by GIGABYTE. So we're gonna go with that price. The only reason I went with this one was because what was in stock at the time when I was buying the parts, honestly. They perform the same, guys. You're paying 90 bucks for better looks. So for our CPU choice, we're going with the Ryzen 7 7800X 8-core CPU. It's currently going for $341. And this is gonna pair nicely with our 5070 graphics card. It's gonna help our 5070 run at 99% GPU utilization. AMD X3D CPUs are my favorite CPUs. I love them. If you want to step above this, that's the 9800 X3D. That one's 472 bucks, so quite a bit more money. But if you do want to get the 9000 series, that would be fine too. I'm gonna give you guys a look into the future. Where are we at? This is the build guide that we're dropping after the 5070 one, the 5080 build guide. That one is going to be using the 9800 X3D CPU, the step up by just a tad. These CPU jumps, they're like not really breakthroughs, they're just like little refreshes, just slight performance. So for 1600 bucks, this is the combo right here. This is where it's at. Content creation, yes. Streaming, yes. High FPS 1440p gaming, very respectable on some of my favorite titles like Call of Duty Warzone and Siege. Yes, the 5070 is going to provide great performance, but don't take my word for it. At the end, you will see exactly how well this system will perform. So for our motherboard of choice, we went with the GIGABYTE B650 Eagle AX, built-in Wi-Fi, built-in Bluetooth, ATX form factor. Going for 160 bucks, a well-priced motherboard. For everything we get, we're not completely breaking the bank with this one. Nice little I/O shield already pre-installed back here. Good amount of ports, looking good. For the M.2 slots, M.2 SSDs, this motherboard actually offers 3. One right here, which is a Gen 5, and these are Gen 4s. Wi-Fi antennas, if we're gonna be using Wi-Fi, I never do. We always use a wired LAN connection. All we wanna get out is this bag with a little screw to install our M.2 SSD. And we will unbox the graphics card and the CPU when we get to the installations of those. I wanna save those for later. Now for the choices of our M.2 SSD and our RAM. Starting off with the storage, 1 terabyte Crucial P3 M.2. This is a Gen 4 speedy M.2 with a 7100 read right here up in the front. Our RAM, we're going with the G.SKILL Flare X5 series. AMD Expo ready, 6000 mega transfers, CL30 RAM. Always love me some G.SKILL RAM. Simple kit, guys, all black. These do come in white as well if you were building a white colorway system, so that's good. We're gonna be using a new AIO here on the channel that we've never used before. This is the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3 Pro 360 A-RGB, 360 as in 3 120mm fans. A-RGB lighting, so it's gonna be fully controllable. Lighting on the pump and the 3 fans. And because we're gonna need an exhaust fan for the rear of our case, we picked up an additional 4th fan. So we're gonna be wiring all these together in a daisy chain system. Daisy chain, clean installation. You'll see what I'm talking about when we're building this thing. But let's go ahead and get this thing open right now. I want to take a look at it. I like the way this AIO cooler looks. If we take a look at the design, I feel like this is gonna look sick. This right here looks pretty cool. Looks like a little, I don't know, Iron Man, little arc reactor. They already have the fans pre-installed on the AIO. It's just gonna make the installation of this quicker for us because we don't have to screw them on. And this is a very clean looking AIO, guys. I can smell the fresh, nice chemical smells. Smells good. And look how small the pump is right here, how it's looking because we haven't attached that thing on it. Looks so tiny. I have no doubt that this is gonna keep our temps low. The juice of our build. This is 850 watt gold rated power supply. This was 110 bucks and it is platinum rated for cybernetics and it has the 80 plus gold. This power supply is gold and platinum. That has 2 different ratings. Okay, why did we pick this one, guys? Well, it was the highest quality power supply for the best price. Currently up on Amazon right now because the prices are always fluctuating for these power supplies. They always go a little up, a little down. It's a regular thing with these power supplies. And this is what I want to go over. This port right here, very important. If you're building an RTX Nvidia 50 series build, the 5070 and up, they use the single cable to power it, the 16-pin connector. You want a power supply that has that connector on it for sure. If you don't have this input, you're gonna have to use multiple PCI 8-pin cables to power your graphics card. You don't want to do that. So make sure you get a power supply that has the 16-pin cable, like our power supply here today. The Toughpower GF-A3 850 watt power supply. These Thermaltake power supplies have a smart zero fan feature. So if you have it on, the fan does not operate if the PSU is at low loads. And sure, if it has the feature, why not? Let's use it. It's supposed to make our system quiet. But I will be honest with you guys, I've never really experienced a loud power supply. I mean, have you guys? I feel like power supplies are never even loud to begin with, even with the fans spinning very high. Unless you bought the most sketchiest power supply in the world, then maybe it'll roar at you and then blow up. I don't know. Inside of here, all the cables. Now, as far as the wattage of our build, 850 watts is more than enough for our 5070 and a Ryzen X 7800X 3D CPU. You're good on that. In fact, you have a little bit more to spare. A 750 watt power supply will run it, but you always want to have a little more extra juice left over just so your power supply won't be working so hard and it can last longer, right? So the 850 watt also allows for a future upgrade, whether you upgrade your CPU to something beefier, if you're going to upgrade the graphics card a little bit higher. If you really want to future-proof your system, go for a 1000 watt power supply right off the bat. This will allow for a way beefier graphics card upgrade in the future, guys. Not that you need to upgrade anytime soon, right? If you're trying to go crazy, like an RTX 5090 that we just did, for that you're gonna need a 1300 watt power supply for crazy cards like the 5090. And now the final essential part. This is the Corsair Frame 4000D. This is the RS A-RGB version. So the RS version already has the A-RGB fans pre-installed in there for you. This is a very beginner-friendly case, guys. Definitely up in the list of top beginner-friendly cases. Oh, fudge. Just lost 20 bucks of value, man. Our stats are just appreciated. Here it is. And by beginner-friendly, I mean that it has a lot of easy access areas to install and change up components within this case. The cases that are a real challenge to build in are the super small compact ones. This case is in the black colorway. It comes in white as well, goes for 110 bucks. A nice high quality case for the money. And here it is, guys. So it comes with 3 pre-installed 120mm A-RGB fans here in the front, already hooked up in a daisy chain system. So Corsair has their IQ system, right? So it's a special type of plug that only works with other Corsair stuff. This is the A-RGB version, which means it just uses the standard 3-pin A-RGB connector. And that will work with everything. Beautiful case. I love this case. It has a pre-installed GPU support right here that we will use for sure. This comes off just like that. And I know that if you visit Corsair's site, you can pick up additional plates for this case. I believe you can pick up, like, for example, a wooden front panel. Now I'm going to share with you guys extra parts we're going to be using. These are definitely not required. You already know what we do here on the channel. We throw a figurine in there. We're using a U2's Ghost figurine. Very awesome and cool looking. The cables. We're going with black and gray power supply cables. These will be in display in the front of your build. These are sick, guys, especially since we're just going to be using a single cable to power up our RTX 5070. And then we're gonna, of course, be using a contact frame for our AM5 chipset. As always, contact frames are awesome, highly recommended. And our custom Creator A-RGB strip kit. You can pick these up on Amazon, and then you'll be supporting me and the channel personally. And for that, I thank you a lot. A lot of you guys have already purchased these and left 5-star reviews on Amazon. Thank you guys, it means so much to me. You're really helping me out when you do that. It comes with strong magnetic attachments, so you can fully customize the positioning of the strips within whatever PC case you're gonna use, and then the cables that are needed. So these hook up directly to the motherboard and they're fully controlled. These add a big splash of light inside your build. They show off your components even more. Depending on what you're pointing them at, you can really show off your graphics card a lot more and other components with the extra light. All these parts, including our Creator RGB strips, will be linked in the video description. So that's all the parts, guys. I'm really excited to build this system here today. Once we're done, we're gonna have even more fun. We're gonna put it to the test. Call of Duty Warzone, Rainbow Six Siege, Doom Dark Ages, the newly released Doom Dark Ages campaign. All right, remember, comment down below any future build guides you guys want to see, combination of graphics cards, CPUs, price points, all that. Join the channel. I turn on channel memberships. You get custom emotes for the comment section. It looks pretty dope. And of course, you're supporting the channel. Again, that really helps out a lot. All right, that's it. Let's build this thing. All right, guys, first we're working with our motherboard. On our CPU, there's going to be a golden arrow on the top left side of it, located right here. On our CPU socket, there's also an arrow on the top left side. So first, pull this lever to the side, lift it all the way up. Then you reveal your socket. Now when holding the CPU, you can hold it from the sides right here, like this. 2 fingers on the side. And then we're gonna line up this golden arrow right here on the top left, on the arrow on the socket, also located on the top left. So just hover it right over and then line it up and let it drop into place. Just like that. That one didn't go in all the way. So if I literally just push it, it's gonna fall in. Watch, I didn't push it. You're not supposed to push the CPU, guys. I literally just tapped it, it fell into place. So what you don't wanna do is you don't wanna bend the pins on the socket. So you don't wanna be pushing the CPU down and forcing it in there at weird angles. So you just wanna line it up and then drop it right into place. and it should fall right in. You can give it a little wiggle, and there it is, it's into place. Now we return this back to its original position, and this right here is going to hold it down. When you're pushing this lever back down, you're gonna feel a lot of tension. You may worry about breaking something. This is normal, guys. You need this tension. And then you just tuck it back into its original position. This thing will come undone, and that's it, CPU installed. That is option 1. Option 2 is with this beautiful contact frame. I'm now going to be installing this. If you choose not to use a contact frame, just skip this step and continue along with the guide. Benefits of contact frames is, look, they look amazing, all right? Look how much better and high quality that looks. These come in a wide range of colors. I will link these in the video description. I just feel like your system deserves it. The other 2 reasons is potentially improved temps, and it could increase the longevity of your CPU by preventing CPU wear as far as bending of it. It's gonna hold down your CPU evenly on all sides. I'm leaving the CPU in there. Using the included screwdriver that came with the contact frame, we undo all 4 points. This thing comes right off just like that. We place the contact frame on top, falls right into place. Use the included screws that came with the contact frame. Now we tighten down with equal pressure. X pattern, a couple turns on one side, a couple turns on one side, same thing. So just keep screwing until your screwdriver stops, and then you can give it a final torque. You don't need to put tons of pressure, but just give it a nice little torque, just like that. We keep turning till your screwdriver then stops right there. Then you don't need to force it. It's already secured all the way. Just to show you guys again though, see, I can't tighten it anymore unless I was trying to go like crazy. Definitely what you don't want to do. You don't want these loose, but you don't want to go all crazy tight that you strip it or something. So just keep turning till the screwdriver stops and give it its final torque. All right, cool. Now the installation of our RAM. These 2 sticks, we want them to run in dual channel mode. We're gonna put them in the 2nd and 4th slots of RAM. Pull the levers back for 2nd and 4th slots. So RAM only goes in one way, guys. You wanna line up the indent of the RAM stick, it's located in the middle, with the part of the RAM slot that is not indented. So we get it into place and then push down both thumbs equal force. Make sure your RAM stick goes down all the way, and both of these levers will lift back up. Same thing for the 2nd stick that goes into the 4th slot. Get it into place, push down both thumbs equal force, all the way down. There we go. And it should look like that, guys. The levers have to come back up. RAM sticks need to sit down nicely. Next, our M.2 SSD. Using the small screwdriver, size 0, we remove the heatsink. M.2 goes in here just like this. We just push it into the slot. The screw we got out of the motherboard is what secures it. We lay the M.2 SSD onto the standoff and secure it. When reinstalling the heatsink, make sure you remove protective film on the back. M.2 installed. Now, before we put our motherboard inside of the case, I like to always install the coolers first, whether you're using a heatsink or the AIO pump. So that is what we are doing now. Before we install the cooler, I need to give credit where credit is due, guys. There's only a single cable right here that's gonna connect the lighting of all 3 fans and the pump. On other AIO coolers, connecting the lighting of the fans and the lighting of the pump were 2 different cables. It's all wired for us neatly. The lighting of the fans is all wired together in a daisy chain system, and then it actually goes through this hose and connects to the lighting of the pump for a single 3-pin A-RGB cable to light up everything. But it doesn't end there. So to hook up the fans and the pump of the cooler to the motherboard, there's 2 cables here. The traditional cable that separates everything, fan, pump, but they include a single cable if we want to go this route, and we just hook up to CPU fan and that's it. So we're gonna get the lighting capabilities and the entire cooler installed with only 2 cables. Anyways, these AIO installations are getting easier and easier. Look how simple and how fast we're gonna get this done. First, undo all 4 screws. So inside the box of the cooler, there's an AMD bag that's labeled. First, we're gonna get 4 standoffs and 4 screws. First, the standoffs placed on all 4 points. Just like that. Now there's these 2 brackets right here that are labeled for us already. L for left, R for right. So very self-explanatory. They just go on top like this. Starting with the left one, we secure it with the screws. I'm using a normal P2 screwdriver. Now we do the same thing for the right one. So let's pretend our motherboard is already in our case. Our radiator is gonna sit right on top of our case like this, with the hoses on the right-hand side. Our pump is then going to attach with 2 points, just like that, in this position. And that's gonna be good positioning and placement of the cooler within our case. So now zooming back in, we need to put thermal paste on our CPU. I'm gonna be using the included thermal paste, and as you can see, it's not a lot. So they've measured this for us. So we can go ahead and put all this paste in the middle of our CPU. When applying thermal paste to your CPU, you wanna put a pea-sized amount, a nice little pea in the middle of the CPU. We left a little extra in here because that's already a fat P. Let's see how much extra was in here. Not that much more. This is just a nice little fat P in the middle of the CPU. We could have put about 10% less than what we put on right now. So just a pea-sized amount in the middle is what you want to aim for. That's fine though, that will be just fine. It's okay if you put a little on the high side. All right guys, so now, before we put this on there, remove the protective film on the back of the base of the pump. And I always like to get leveled with the motherboard because as I place the pump onto the CPU, I want to be laying it down evenly, so both of the points are going to line up, and because I'm laying it down evenly, that means I'm spreading out the thermal paste evenly. So once you have it lined up, I'm going to secure one side, just a little bit, just a tad. Like there, I just want it to attach. That's it. If you do one side too much in the beginning, it's gonna be too hard to do the other side because then the side's gonna lift up too much. And now we're gonna do the other side. We just wanna get it to attach. All right, there we go. Both sides are attached. So now you wanna secure both sides little by little. A little bit on this side, a little bit on this side, so you can secure the base evenly, spreading out the thermal paste evenly. So a little bit on this side, a little bit over here. That's it. Just keep turning till it stops. Just so you know, these electric screwdrivers, they're not very powerful. So that's why I just keep going. And they're good for this. It's like, see, I press it, it doesn't turn anymore. This thing's just moving in my hand. If it was more powerful, if you were using an actual real drill, like this bad boy right here, you'd F up your computer. You'd strip it and you'd really mess things up and you're gonna be crying. Don't use that. But because these are not very powerful, this is okay to use on here. That's why they caught on. We've been exposed, guys, by the cooler. Look at, see, we could have definitely put 10% less. This cooler is unique the way you can see the top. So we can actually see the little extra thermal paste. So if this was a different style of AIO, this paste would be up here. But because it's tailored right there, yeah, we can see it. I'm going to go ahead and clean that off now. Because this is like a napkin, try not to leave any pieces on there. These are thermal paste wipes. Again, so you guys don't have to do this. This is gonna clean off the paste even more. Obviously, when you're doing stuff like this, the system needs to be off. Just putting that out there. Just FYI, obviously, right? I want this top to be nice and clean and perfect. Nice and clean up there now. We're learning. It's a learning experience for us together. Okay, so that's on. Now for the lighting. Look how easy this is. Right here, we have a 3-pin A-RGB input. So we're gonna plug it in. This only goes in one way. It's labeled on the plug for us. It says plus 5V on one of the sides, meaning that this pin right here on the far left is the 5V one. And you're gonna line it up with the V on this 3-pin A-RGB input, which is on the right side. So you line up the V to the V. And there we go, goes in just like that. That's the lighting. And now you have to peel this off right here. And now let's get our single cable right here. So the end that's labeled CPU, that's going to plug in right here on our board. In the middle 4-pin fan header labeled CPU fan, that is gray. And the other end of the cable plugs in right here, guys. I know you guys can't really see it, but the input is right here. And this cable only goes in one way, by the way. So see how one side of the cable has 2 lines? If you turn it around, then it's like completely flat on that side. So the side that has the 2 lines, as we're plugging it in right here, the side with the 2 lines is on the bottom. That side's on the bottom, and then the side that's flat is on the top. And we just hook it up like this into here. Once we get it in, you can then just push it in all the way like that. Just make sure it goes in all the way. And all the cables of the cooler are connected just like that. Easy. And now these cables are gonna be tucked into here like this. And now we're ready to put our base back on. And there we go, guys, cooler installed. So simple with only 2 cables, beautiful. Now it's time to put this inside our case. All right, so I'm gonna move this. It's such a habit of always picking up the AIOs by the base. I forgot we can't do it with this. It just came right off. So we're gonna get our case, just lay it flat on your, whatever it is you're building on, guys. Hopefully you're not building on carpet. Don't do that, please. Don't build on a carpet. Now, what I like to do is I hold it from the base for the motherboard and everything, and then other hand for the radiator. First, we're gonna drop in the motherboard, and we wanna line up the ports on the left of the motherboard with the back of the case, and then I lay the motherboard down. And as you can see, the middle point of this case right here, there's a point right there that holds the motherboard into place. So their motherboard's all lined up, good. When you place a motherboard inside of your case, you wanna make sure that the standoffs of the case are already in the appropriate positions to support the form factor of your motherboard. So the form factor of our motherboard is ATX, and the standoffs inside our Corsair case were already in the ATX format. So we didn't need to remove or add any standoffs, or ready to just drop the motherboard into place. Now the radiator, you can lay it down here. Okay, now we need to secure all the points, a total of 8. So inside the 4000D accessory box, you want to locate this bag of screws right here. And they look like this, guys. Okay, we're gonna secure all 8 points and then we'll review at the end. We're gonna circle red all the points we secured. So 3 on the top, here, here, and here. 2 on the middle, here and here. This one doesn't have anything. This is just the point that holds the motherboard into place. And then 3 on the bottom, here, here, and here. Now we're ready to put our radiator into place. So we're just gonna get it in there. Kind of have to finesse it, find the way that fits. Put this right side right here in the corner. Then that should give you clearance to move the radiator. Okay, you guys didn't see that. All right, then you just lay it down there carefully. Now over here, we're gonna undo these 2 screws. Pull this beautiful top cover off. Now we need to adjust the positioning of this bracket to support our 120mm fans. So undo this and this, push our bracket all the way up as high as it can go to the 120mm position, and then we re-secure it. Now the bag that was included with the cooler with a bunch of screws has 2 different screws in it. Not this one, this is for fans. We're using this screw right here. I never use washers when doing the installation of the coolers, but I'll go ahead and use the washers now. Why not? I'll use everything that's included. So now let's get it into place, lining up the points of the radiator with the brackets. We'll go ahead and secure one end to hold it into place, and another one. And there we go, now it's sitting there. So now before we finish securing the radiator, we want to know exactly where we want to place it. So it looks like it's going to be a tight fit for our exhaust fan. So here we are, let's place it in there. See if it's gonna fit. Yep, very, very, very tight fit, but it fits, guys. Barely enough space. This fan has 2 cables. One of them is for the lighting. One of them is for the actual speed of the fan. We're going to hook up the lighting capabilities of this fan to the daisy chain lighting system of the fans on the radiator. So we're gonna undo this point right here. There's text on it that labels the pins. We're gonna line up the 5V to the 5V, only goes in one way. So there we go. That hooks up the lighting of this fan to this. And now I'm gonna go ahead and throw old footage up because right now you guys can't see it, of us hooking up the cable to the CPU fan. So now on the right side of that fan header is labeled System Fan 1. And that is where we're gonna be hooking up this fan to. There it is, guys. So there it is, guys. It's that one right there on the far right, circled red. That's what we just hooked up. And now that we have this fan all hooked up, ready to go as well, we need to position it in the correct way. So the side that has the Arctic sticker is gonna be over here. And then the side that doesn't have a sticker is just black right here, gonna be up against the case. The fan also has arrows. It has one arrow pointing that way. That is the direction that the fan is gonna blow the air towards. We're gonna push these cables back here towards the back of the case as we place the fan into place. And now we secure the fan with the 4 screws that it came with back here. And I'm securing our exhaust fan in the lowest position it could go. Like that, guys, the lowest we can put. And there's some extra cables right here that I'm just gonna wire towards the back, push them up here. And there we go, we got that fan out of the way. And now we know exactly where we want our radiator to be placed. So I don't want the radiator to be touching here. And I don't want the radiator to be touching over here either, or should I say the fans of the radiator, or any part of the radiator. I don't want it to be touching against this stuff. So let me go ahead and just put it a little, okay, that's not touching. And that's not touching. It's okay if it touches, but you know, it's right in the middle, sitting nicely. So we're good. This is how I want it. So now I'll hold it so it doesn't move from the position I wanted it to be in. And we'll finish securing that one and this one. Now I'll stay in the position I want it. And our radiator is now fully secured. Now, as you can see, there's 3 points that we didn't secure. There's one right above this one right here. There was one right here, and then there's also one right here. But the bracket is covering those 3 points, so we didn't secure those, but totally okay. Just to prove to you guys, this thing is still very well secured to our case. It's not going anywhere. This thing is nice and secure, guys. But now we can put this back on. And look at that, guys. It's looking beautiful. Looking real good. Moving on to the installation of our power supply. First, we have to prep it. We're only going to be hooking up a few cables to this. First cable is the big 24-pin power cable. Next is a CPU power cable. It's labeled CPU, and that's everything from the bag. Could you believe it? Only one more cable, and that is our 16-pin Nvidia graphics card power cable. So one end hooks up to this very special port that we talked about earlier. Just like that, a single cable is going to power our graphics card. Beautiful. The second cable we're hooking up to it is going to go right here. A single CPU power cable. The other end of it has two 8-pin CPU power connectors. So the single side is what goes into the power supply. And now for our big 24-pin power cable, the side that is split into two is what hooks up to the power supply. Right here where it's labeled 24-pin. Make sure all these plugs go in all the way and they clip in. Now I'm gonna hook up a custom black and gray colorway just like this cable. This is an extension cable. So instead of this hooking up to the motherboard, we're gonna hook it up to the extension cable. And now this end's gonna hook up to the motherboard instead and be on display in front of our build. And for the CPU cable, we're not gonna be hooking up a custom extension because the CPU cable is hidden back here behind the radiator. So it won't be seen regardless. All the cables will be linked in the video description along with all the other parts we're using in this build. Now we're gonna go to the back of our case and we're gonna slide our power supply into here with the fan of the power supply facing down. And the reason we want to make sure our fan is facing down is because it's going to suck in the cool air from the bottom of the case and then blow out the hot air through the exhaust of the power supply back here. So we line it up with the 4 points, and this Corsair case is unique because it has these 2 screws right here that are used to secure the power supply. So we could just use these 2 just by themselves and the power supply is not going to go anywhere. It's nice and secure, but I'll go ahead and add the 2 additional screws right here and right here just to get it extra secure. There we go, power supply is in. The fact that we're only using 3 power supply cables, this is a really good thing. Back then with the graphics cards having up to 3 8-pin PCI connections on the RTX 2080 Ti, I believe some models had that. That was crazy. That was a lot of connections. Now it's just this single 16-pin cable. Very nice. All right guys, well, we're almost done. We're doing really good. Now it's time to connect all our cables. We make this process really simple by breaking all the cables down into 3 total groups. The first group of cables is going to be our power cables from the power supply that power things. Our second group of cables is going to be all our case cables. These are the cables that are attached to the case and connect the buttons of the case, like the power button, the USB ports on it. And then the third and final groups is all our fans and our lighting. So starting off with our power cables. First, the CPU power cable. We only need to connect one end of this cable, a single 8-pin CPU power cable. This Corsair case is special because it has extra clearance for us up here, where then we will have room to hook up the CPU power cable right here. I always recommend to hook up the CPU power cable before you install a radiator, because on most cases, the radiator is gonna block you completely. You don't have access to that. And other cases don't have access through here. So if your case doesn't have the clearance here, you want to make sure you hook up the CPU power cable before you install anything on top of it. And this cable only goes in one way, guys. You want to make sure that the clip of this cable clips up here on top. So I'm going to line it up straight, get it. And it's still a little tricky. I'm going to bend it a little bit more to make it easier to angle correctly. And once I do that, I have no problems getting it to line up right. Let me zoom in more. But as you can see, the clip of this cable is on the top and it's lined up. Now we just have to push it in all the way. And there we go, guys. It's in all the way. We shouldn't have any gaps between the CPU plug and the power cable. It needs to go down all the way and clip in. Our second power cable, the big 24-pin, we're gonna wire it from the back of our case through the middle side right here. And this clip is going to clip on the right side of our 24-pin plug. So we line it up straight and then push it in all the way down. Again, make sure we don't have any gaps and that it clips in. And there we go. We'll fix this cable later with the cable combs. And our final power cable is for our RTX 5070, but we're saving that for later and it's not time for that yet. Second group of cables, case cables. They're all tied up back here. So first let's get them undone. And here they are, guys. They're all located within this cable sleeve right here. We're gonna hook up an HD audio cable. That's for the microphone and headphone jack of the case. F panel cable, that's for the power button. USB 3 cable, that's for the USB 3 port. Type-C cable for the Type-C port. In this Corsair case, the cables are tailored. The length of it is not too long or not too short. So that's one feature I really like about this case. So first cable's our HD audio cable. We're gonna wire it from down here to the front of our case. And the HD audio input is right here to the far left of the motherboard. It's white. This cable only goes in one way. There's text on this cable that says audio. That text, you want it to be facing down. So the audio text is down there on the bottom, and that is the correct positioning for this one. The second case cable is our F panel cable. It's labeled right here, F panel. We're gonna wire that one through the bottom middle of our case. And this is going to connect into these sets of pins. Not the first section, the second section right here. And this cable needs to be hooked up starting at the far left side of it. Only goes in one way. For this, you gotta make sure that the F panel is facing up. So I'm gonna line it up straight and push it in all the way. Just like that, guys. Now we need to move under our 24-pin power cable we hooked up. Right here is where we're gonna hook up our USB 3 cable. And that is this cable right here. We're gonna wire it through the middle of our case to the front. This cable has a hump on one of its sides. The other side is completely flat. Line up the hump on the right side of this plug right here where there's an opening for the hump. There's pins inside of here. You don't want to bend them. Line this cable up straight and push it in, making sure it goes in all the way. There you go, that's our USB 3 cable. And right next to it is where we're gonna hook up our Type-C cable right here. Here we have our Type-C cable, wiring it through the same area. This cable only goes in one way. So if I try to put it in one way and it doesn't go in, okay, that went in, that was the right way. If it was the wrong way, it wouldn't go in, so then just flip it over, and then that will be the way it goes in. And that's record time for our case cables. Moving on to the third and final group of cables, our fans and our lighting. So we already hooked up all the fans and the lighting of the 3 radiator fans and the 1 exhaust fan in the back of our system. So now we're just gonna hook up the 3 pre-installed fans with a single cable right here because they're already in a daisy chain system. And for the lighting of the 3 front fans of the case is also just a single 3-pin A-RGB cable because that is also in a daisy chain system. So on the bottom of our motherboard, here we have 2 3-pin A-RGB inputs. We're gonna be using one of them right now for the lighting of the 3 fans. And if we look over here, we have a second system fan input. So let's hook up that first, the system fan input 2. We got the fan cable, wiring it through the bottom of the case. And we're gonna hook it right up to system fan 2. And there we go, the 3 front fans of the case hooked up to the motherboard. Now the 3-pin RGB lighting cable, wire it to the front of the case. And this cable only goes in one way, guys. Line up the V on this cable with the pin with a V as well, which is on the left. This first pin is the V, and this first pin for the second lighting input is the V. So this plug has an arrow on it right there, not a V. The arrow means V as well. And there we go. And that was super smooth sailing, guys. We connected those cables in no time. And now it's time to install our graphics card, the 5070. This is the ASUS Tough Gaming graphics card with 12 gigabytes of VRAM OC edition. Let's get this guy open. And that's the adapter that we will not be using. So we already have this sick custom cable waiting for it. Can already see what we're gonna use this for. We're gonna use it. This will be a nice little touch. An emblem, and they're even including it with a GPU support. Wow, thank you, because we will be using this. We're definitely gonna be using this if the graphics card doesn't reach all the way to our already included GPU support. This is my first time using this version of a graphics card. This Tough Gaming design is very classy, black and gray colorway, gonna definitely match our color theme. This right here lights up, guys, and the front design of this card is looking really fancy. Feel free to comment down below what's your favorite version of the 50 series cards. What's the best looking one to you? Has little special touches on the side that you're not gonna see as well. Has some design right here and here. Tough Gaming. Stay tough. Words to live by. Oof. Now what surprises me about this card, I was not expecting this. It actually has 5 video inputs, 2 HDMIs, 3 display ports. Usually on cards, we always see 4 inputs, not 5. So that's of course special. I mean, why not? I'll take an extra input. Anyways, this card looks good, feels good, and let's see if it games good. All right, time to install our card. Let's get this in here. First, we need to make room for it by removing the second and third brackets. Our card is gonna be going into our first PCI slot right here. Pull the lever back, take the protective off the card, and then we're gonna line it up straight just like a RAM stick. And once we have it lined up straight, we then push it in all the way. Make sure it goes in all the way, and that lever will lift back up. Now we re-secure it with the 2 screws. And now the final step, we connect the juice, line it up straight, push it in all the way. Very important that this cable goes in all the way and that there's no gaps and that it clips in. And there we go. Now for the included GPU support, you unscrew it, lift it all the way up to where you want it, and then you re-secure it by tightening the screw again. And there we go. That's a secured 5070. And that's how it looks. And it's perfect. And there we go, guys. That was my neighbor just banged on the wall or something. I thought the stuff was gonna fall off my shelf or something. And that's it, guys. We did it. That's a wrap. We have built an amazing $1,800 system. Can't wait to put it to the test. Now just final touches. I just remembered. I didn't even install the Creator A-RGB strips. Okay, whoops. I'm gonna do that during the final touches time. So I'm gonna install the Creator A-RGB strips. I'm gonna cable manage the back. I'm gonna stick in our figurine and install the cable combs for the 24-pin. Cue the time lapse. And we're done, guys. Not even gonna lie, this one came out real badass with the figurine. Ghost looks sick in there, man. If you guys are following along, congratulations on your new build, guys. You're gonna love it. Here we go. This system is so badass, guys. I would love to keep this one for myself. Our strips look beautiful in there. Remember, you can pick these up on Amazon, support your boy. All parts used for this build and our Creator A-RGB strips are linked in the video description. If you leave me a 5-star review, you're really helping me out a lot. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, well, I'm super proud of this build. This build came out really badass. I know I said that already, but I'm just really liking this ghost figurine. And it just matches the color theme so well. The card, the black and gray cables. All right, guys, let's put this guy to the test. Time to frag it up.
Hey, listen up and listen up good. You're not ready to go just yet. You need to install Windows. Windows can be a pretty price, but not anymore. Thanks to FragItUp.shop, you'll be fragging it up in no time. Pick up Windows 11 Pro with an OEM activation key for only 25 bucks. Shipping from the US of A. Go pick it up right now at FragItUp.shop. That's an order, soldier! Now you will need to watch this video. Here you will learn how to install Windows and all drivers for your new rig, plus some other important tips as well. The video will be linked in the description. What are you waiting for? Get back out there, soldier!
Settings for Call of Duty Warzone. Native 1440p. Reflexes on plus boost. Here are the other settings. View to the max 120. Motion blurs are off. Let's do it. A Ninja Turtle! Chase him! Where's the turtle? Turtle power! Got him. Got him. we almost didn't get it, but we got him. Just gonna hide under us. Oh. What? Window is ending. Run, Billy, run! Oh my God. Off my... No! We're aiming at his nut. Anyways, guys, that was a great match. Average FPS 173. Settings for Fortnite, native 1440p res on performance mode. These settings are to the max, and reflexes on plus boost. That guy's like, what, a pinky of health? Are they over there? Oh, crud. Average FPS 495. Rainbow Six Siege settings. Native 1440p, max FOV, reflex on plus boost. Rest of the settings. All this is off right here. What the fuck? Copyright protected content. Oh, nice. No way! Alright, game point, guys. Bring it home. Fuck. Good job, bro. Yeah, we got MVP, guys. I wasn't really paying FPS while we were playing, but it was high. It was high. Marvel Rival settings. These are the same settings that we use in the RTX 5060 Ti build guide that we just dropped previous to this 5071. So the same settings at native 1440p, so you guys could compare the performance of our build here today to last week's build. And the upcoming 5080 build will also be using the same settings. There, it's destroyed.
Help me out!
Smoke screen.
Focusing on this guy. This guy's annoying.
Executioner! Leave them to punch you. Blaze of glory.
The final 10 seconds!
Okay, we killed them. Oh, it's overtime. It's overtime.
Ready again.
Nice. Good job. That was a good comeback. Ooh, we got MVP. Average FPS of 170. Settings for Counter-Strike 2. Native 1440p res. Reflex on our enable plus boost. Here's the rest of the settings. Jeez. The comeback. Get right there. All right, good job, man. We turned it around. We finally woke up. Damn it, bro. He was right there. Good job. What just happened, bro? That's how you do it, baby. Fuck, man. Now we're just fighting for the tie now. He's on your right, bro. Damn it, man. Apex Legends settings, same as the 5060 Ti. Native 1440p. Here's the rest of the settings. Okay, so looks like we're gonna be locked at 300 FPS for Apex. Apex does have a cap of 300, so I mean the game could get crazy. Maybe it'll drop a little, but right now we're literally at a locked 300 FPS, which is perfect. Behind you, coming in for the flank. Okay, FPS does drop down though, yeah. It doesn't stay exactly locked at a 300, but it gets back up there quickly. Alright, average FPS for Apex, 298. Arc Ascended settings, we have it set to 1440p, but we do have DLS on, and it's set to ultra performance. So it's not going to be rendering at 1440p. Graphics preset is set to medium. So ultra performance, I don't know what resolution it renders at exactly, but it's not 1440p, obviously. And we are getting currently 40 FPS, high 40s, 50. Crazy, man. This game is not optimized at all, but I wanted to test it out because a lot of you guys do play it. Yeah, I just wonder for the people that play Arc Ascended or the other Arc, what settings you guys even run the game at. But that's our Arc performance right now. Average FPS 50 is what it says. This game's very demanding. We tested it out on the RTX 5060 Ti build guide that we just dropped. Anyways, we're gonna be running it at different settings now. So let's go ahead and set it to ultra settings, and then we're going to turn off DLSS. We're gonna set this to TAA, max FOV. That's what it wanted me to do. Uh-oh. Oh. Alright guys, so at these settings, we're getting about 50, 60 FPS. What's gonna make the huge difference is, of course, the render resolution. As soon as we switch it to 1080p, that's what's gonna then give us a big bump. But like a $1,800 PC to play the campaign game at 1440p, I would think it would be able to do it. That would Doom Dark Ages. Is it just like horrible poor optimization? 1440 ultra nightmare for the settings, so maxed out. All right, let's see how good this game could look on a 1440p monitor. They're pretty good, guys. Well, what did we learn? So if you pick low settings or maxed out ultra nightmare, it doesn't matter. It's the same performance. The only thing that changes the FPS is changing your render resolution, whether it's 1080p or 1440p. Anyways, I'm disappointed in the performance of this game. The 5080 is gonna perform better. I'll actually play the level on the 5080 one. TARKOV settings, native 1440p. Here's the rest of the settings. Oh, nice, my teammate did all the work. Back right there. Hit fire. Ooh. Jeez. Alright, one more and then we win. Oh my god. Damn it. Alright, he clutched it. That's game. Average FPS for Tarkov, 205. Settings for PUBG, 1440p. This is the same settings that we used for the 5060 video, guys, so you could do a direct comparison. Everyone is landing here. That's not, is that seriously him? He did not see us? That's crazy. Oh my god. I know this guy's still here. He's gonna try to kill us. Screw you, asshole. Whatever, man. Average FPS for PUBG, 270. Rust settings, high settings preset. Same as the 5060 Ti video, so you could do a direct comparison. Image effects all off. Alright, there we go. Oh yeah, you're so much more accurate. Alright, we didn't get the dub right there. Average FPS, 195. And that wraps up our benchmarks for our 5070 build here today, guys. All parts used for the build, link in the video description. Next video, we're going to be doing the RTX 5080 build guide, so stick around for that. And the 5060 Ti build guide has just went live too. So we're going up the ladder, 5060 Ti, 5070 today, and next one, 5080. Alright guys, thanks for coming and chilling with me. I appreciate all you guys' support. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.